take place. Back to the mall in the old school days, kicking it back with stories exchange. This is before everything changed. Oh, 245 at Mickey D's, Sears catalogs and memories. Eclectic is taking you back. Just turn the page. Took me for everything changed.
Boom, 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 boom. What's up, everybody? Before everything changed, you know what we're talking about now? We're gonna talk about before you could Google it. This is great because you would have arguments that lasted for weeks or years because nobody could look it up. We argue about sports stats. Listen, if it wasn't the game last night, there's no way to look it up. This was the 80s. He had 20 points last week. Oh, well, all right. I'll take your word for it. Or no, he didn't. It's nothing you can do about it. Zero. But yeah, you can look it up. There's no Google. There's no internet. It would just be, oh man, did you see XYZ? No. Well, wouch it happened. No, it didn't. Yes, it did. Can't prove it. You can't look it up. We argue about people that were in movies. Oh, fucking Don Knotts was in Superman. Like what? No, he wasn't. Yeah, he played Brainiac. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Don Knotts did not play Brainiac Superman. Look, if you don't have if you don't have the tape, it wasn't streaming. If you could be like, no, it was an Easter egg. He was in the back. I don't know. But he was just arguing. And the funny thing is, like when it's your friends, it'd be like 20 years later, it was like, hey, I was just fucking around cleaning up. I threw on Superman. Hey, Don Knotts is not in. Like 10, 15 years later, you could bring shit up like that. But it'd be TV shows like, oh man, remember when Stevie Wonder was on the Cosby Show? Yeah, I do. Remember when Prince was on there? Nah, yeah, he did. He was on he was on there, and they put bleach on his purple jacket and it turned it white, and he got mad at him, and then Bill Cosby had to like what Denise made him with Gordon Gartrell. I don't know, but we were just so much misinformation would go on, but it was fun because we would just argue and there was no way to look things up, and some things we just agreed to accept and move on. And it's like you can look up things now with like a text, and then you call with proof of lunchroom debates after 25 years. We're like that fucking you say Kirk Cameron was never in a I got milk commercial or whatever the fuck we're talking about. Our generation, this generation, though, I don't know what they call them. It's not millennial. It's before Generation X. One of the whatever. We started almost all of the Mandela effects by accident. I, I think we did. I think we started telling people that Fruit Loops was spelled Furit. It was never spelled like that, by the way. Or it was Flintstones. But the debates were fun. The other thing is now as a grown up, again, I said this in another show. I don't argue with anyone I didn't grow up with, because one, you weren't there, and two, I know you weren't there, and three, I don't know how serious you're gonna take it and how much I can mess around with you. But it was so much fun when you didn't when you couldn't just immediately call somebody on something, and if they were really convincing, you're like, Jenna, fine, good. All right, I guess Janet Jackson was on an episode of Fat Albert. Like, yeah, nah, she was, nah, she was Penny because remember, like I guess, I guess so. I guess they did have Deathstroke underoos. They made Penguin, Deathstroke, and Clayface. They had underoos for those characters. Yeah, I had some. They were orange. They were orange for a different reason, sir. But it was it was fun when you could. This is obviously it's before Ask Jeeves. Kids, do your Googles and find out who Ask Jeeves is. But um, yeah, it's real funny though because especially the sports stuff. It could be a game, double header. Whatever happened in the first one, I don't know. With the newspaper only, we used to do fantasy sports with the newspaper. Can you imagine? Listen, kids, can you imagine that? Your commissioner, you would have to call on the telephone. How many? What was the score? How many points did my guys get, and how many points did their guys get? And the commissioner would have to open up the newspaper, get the box score, and do the points in paper for every team. It would have to go if it's fancy basketball, right? They had that many rebounds, they had that many assists. All right, times one, two. They would have to do that. Oh man. Oh, what a time before you could just Google and look up things. Anyway, any of your favorite things that or favorite debates, childhood stuff that you would argue about before you could look it up and any any crazy shit like nah. Um, Tootie was on the Soul Train. She was a Soul Train dancer. She had the skates. Anything that you could think of. Yeah, hit me up and let me know in the comments. But that's well before everything changed. Now
Just turn the page to before everything changed.